Welcome to everybody watching the VOD. We're back with more Wave 49, baby! I cannot believe that I got hooked on this. After I thought it would be just an absolutely ungodly, unfathomable task to be able to complete it once in my life. I finally finished it for the first time. And I went back in for more. Let's see what happened. Is this wave 4? This is a pretty good time. Yeah, that was wave 4, alright. Jades! It is so good to see you, my jousty. Welcome, Mr. Existerer, aloha. Hope everybody's doing really well. Just sending out some announcements here as this run gets going. This is going much slower here, as Wave 6 almost always does whenever you're on good pace. Especially whenever you're on good pace. It is one of those waves that is just generally tough to do quickly. You almost never get good spawns. Those are pretty good spawns, though. Ice. The Chuck E. Cheese Super Heavyweight Champion. King of the Octagon at Chuck E. Cheese. 10-0 versus parents. Well done. I knew you could do it. I always knew you had it in you. That specifically. That's awesome. We're back with some birds. Into wave 10, or sorry, yeah, wave 10 in a pretty decent time here. Pretty low score, but a decent time pace. Don't know if 100k, if there's anything that's gonna happen with that. But this isn't the worst wave 11 so far. Yeah, we're clearing it out quickly. Terry's coming, so I'm gonna just spawn Terry high and clear out my ability to miss the bounder. And tie with the bounder. So that took a little bit longer than it could have. But it's okay. We're still good on lives and everything. I figure at this point, yeah, 100k is absolutely not happening. In terms of a PB. And yeah, this is taking a while. So let's just make this a wave 49 attempt. Finishing it once wasn't enough for me anymore. With the unbelievable success I had on my first attempt back at a long attempt, making it to wave 49, and then my next long attempt after that, finishing for the first time, I wondered if I could actually be consistent with this. Nice job getting stuck, Terry. The Chuck E. Cheese is the Waffle House of adolescent Las Vegas. Remarkable. Yeah, it's good to see everybody. Jeff, welcome to you as well. It's so cool to have you all here. Eventually I'll need to get up and get water. That's one thing I forgot to do. Okay, decent pace here, I assume. Because I don't have a good split for it yet. I should probably make a split for wave 15, but we'll see. That was a bit of an awkward death. And this is a bit of an awkward situation. I'm taking care of the egg right now. Something that has just innately changed that with my return is that my flow chart for decision making is just naturally way better, and my attentiveness to the entire field. As I mentioned yesterday. Oh my goodness. That's some of the most top spawns I've seen in waves past 10. That was something. Played the Atari 2600 Joust a lot as a kid. A lot. Oh, we're getting more spawns. Jeez Louise, this is wild all of a sudden. This pace is now kind of spicy. These are some of the slower waves, like the waves before the Shadow Lords start coming in and wreaking havoc and making things naturally faster. Getting spawns is such massive value in these waves, and that was a sad death. Just misjudged, misclicked. It wasn't really the hunter that did that. But, it cost us a life, but it didn't cost us that much time, thankfully. So 6 flat in wave 20. That seems pretty good. No, like, disaster waves yet. A couple of, iffy deaths, but they didn't absolutely destroy what was happening. Oh, I tied twice in a row instead of dying, which is beautiful. We will take it. Or else I could have lost 1 billion lives in this level right here. And lost like 30 seconds. I am somehow still tying. The hunters, absolutely. We're hungry. This sucks. Yeah, so obviously it's much faster to just die to Terry as soon as the wave is over, instead of letting that nonsense happen. But I am trying to protect my lives because I still don't know if I just got really, really lucky 2 long runs in a row, or if I'm actually going to be consistent at this and I don't need to worry as much about lives as I thought I do. Welcome, Penguin. This is definitely a pretty wild concept for a game. Yeah, in a lava field. Also, more amazing spawns. These spawns are ridiculous in a very good way. Yep, we're at A lives, even with the deaths that we took. We are getting so lucky. Are you kidding me? There goes a bounder. That's fine. Now I am respecting this hunter a little bit. I don't want to have to deal with him glued to the ceiling if I can, because I know I'm dealing with a bit of a time buffer now. Lava bird jousting. I have unlocked, like, after taking like a 3-year break from this game, Penguin, I apparently, probably, possibly, partially due to switching to console and not having any lag anymore, I leveled up, seriously. And I completed wave 49 for the very first time on my 2nd long attempt. And now I'm going for more. Which I never ever thought I was going to do. But I just had an amazing time, and it seems viable for me. Oh dear. And we've got a really fast run going right now with really good luck. Yeah, I know that egg's going in the lava, so... Yeah, be safe with the upcoming storm, everybody. We are ready to hunker down, and we're in a region with infrastructure that is prepared for harsh winters, and so I think I'm gonna be okay, but my heart goes out to everybody who might be experiencing some more difficulties. Yeah, Texas is going to be a war zone. I have many friends in Texas, and I am thinking of them very much. We are going joust mode. Joust zone, joust maxing. Thankfully, anytime a Shadow Lord is above me, I just assume they're gonna make the perfect play at all times. That was a really, really, really stupid death. I guess it got Terry off the screen early. But still. The spawns are continuing. And this is also, like, really good luck in terms of actual fighting. Terry didn't even spawn. Okay, sub 10, wave 30. This is kind of absurd. at the very least, we can see what sort of time we get at wave 39, and that can actually be on the leaderboards. Do the deaths matter much? Immensely. This game is nearly impossible. I'm only the second person, as far as speedrun.com goes, to ever record having completed wave 49 at all. So just making it there is an unbelievable challenge. I've only seen one other person get that far on YouTube with, like, legitimate-looking gameplay that doesn't look tasked. And they made it really, really far. Impressively, impressively far. On the Famicom version, which I don't know if it has any differences, it didn't look like it. But yeah, we have 11 lives right... We have 10 lives right now, and we're getting really iffy spawns. We're getting to the part of the game where you just have to camp at the ceiling and pray. But even the weakest enemies in this game can do absolutely anything on absolutely every single frame. So even in the quote-unquote controllable and survivable levels, consistent levels, you have no idea what's about to happen every single moment. You just have to, you have to try to take away their options and limit their variance, but you can never actually... What in good... How is this still happening? What is my luck in this run? Are we about to, like... Okay, let's calm down. Because, yes, yep. We can... It doesn't matter if I had 11 lives coming into this level, into this wave. They could all be gone in less than 30 seconds. Because Joust does not let you... It just randomly decides to not let you play at all. But one of our more minor goals is coming up in 5 levels. If we can make it past here and not lose a bunch of time, we could have a pretty darn solid wave 39 world record. I got unlucky there. But I got very lucky in making it back up. Are you kidding me? Okay, This wave is a disaster. I didn't do anything wrong. I actually have played amazing in this wave so far, but the game has said no. The game is saying no. There go all my lives, and there goes a lot of time. That is Joust NES, and now they're refusing to come up here. That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. So, there it goes. There you go. There you have it, Jeff. There's your answer. I played optimally and did everything I wanted to do that entire time. But there's no way to actually consistently play this game safely. There is no safe in Joust NES. So that wave obviously was a run killer in many ways. That unbelievable pace we just had has taken a severe hit, but let's see what happens. Welcome, the Attractor. This is a game I grew up with. And a few years ago, speed ran a lot. But it was really getting to me. Here we are at wave 39. But I seem to have made massive strides all of a sudden upon returning to this. Those are good spawns. Now we shouldn't have to be absolutely annihilated. We're missing sub 14 on wave 39 because of that horrendous wave 36. But this is a huge world record. Terry, of course, appearing at the last moment. 14-13. It's not 14-12. It's the moment the wave 40 text appears on the screen. So it's a 14-13. That is the new wave 39 world record. We only have 4 lives to try to make it to wave 49. If we can make it there, we have... As you can see, we are almost a minute ahead of my new world record that I showed last night. This is still the same session. This is still the same night at the time. So I'm on the verge of completing 2 wave 49 runs, potentially, in a row, and both of them being world record. But yeah, there is just not that... Just what do you do in a situation like this? We just lost a lot of time. Eggs wave? I didn't know they could do that. Okay, that's better. That's not. Just drifted up perfectly right into me. I couldn't really defend against it at all. Okay, at least we tied. I should probably get that egg. I should probably get that egg. I will now. Yep, it was just in time. It was hatching. Okay, Terry. So this has been very slow so far. But we are not dead yet. But yeah, we're 50 seconds ahead even after losing like 30 seconds in wave 36. So now this run is telling me just how much potential there is for me to bring this down even further. Okay, we are freaking surviving. We're somehow on the paltry amount of lives that we have taken into this part. Wave 44. But look at the time loss. This went really well in the 1931. Which I actually retimed to be a 1930. Yeah, HAL Laboratories as well. At least this version. Okay. Still almost 30 seconds ahead. And the last wave, wave 49, didn't go very well in terms of speed. We lost a lot of lives and a lot of time, so I could potentially save more time. We are potentially on sub 19 pace. Isn't it actually, like, isn't it unbelievable that anybody could even get to like wave 39? That's why NES Card for years and years was the only person to even have a wave 39 run submitted to SRC. I was only the second person to ever do it a few years ago, and then it took me even more years after that to ever get to wave 49. Okay, that was slow, but we're past it. Hopefully soon, Ice, because my personal best now, we're gonna see later in my progress PB. But we need to finish this run first. That was lucky. Just a few waves away from a new world record, hopefully. That was just... I had to get the egg, and the Shadow Lord just made the perfect casual play. Only two of them, but that's all that needs to happen. There only need to be two in order to annihilate me. Yeah. This isn't looking good. Oh my goodness, that worked out somehow. 2 waves away. Time is starting to look kind of tight. Okay. Have we... Oh my goodness. 3 runs in a row past wave 10 have made it all the way to wave 49. Are we about to do this twice in a row? Complete a run twice. That's not good. So from now on, I should bail on that. Whoops. My luck seems to have run out. 3 runs in a row, doing long attempts, made it to wave 49, beat wave 49, made it to wave 49. That, at least, was a new wave 39 world record. Let's keep going, because this is just unreal. I'm just getting there again, and it seems like this is actually consistent. Bubble Bottle was fascinating, seeing like level 80 and saying, how could you go this far? Yeah, there are a lot of those arcade-style games. Yeah, from B lives to 2 lives in like a single wave. That is JOUST NES. Yeah, thank you all so much for being here already. This is so incredible. I really appreciate having you. That was just the beginning of what I have to show you tonight. Still from just 3 days of playing this game. upon coming back from it after coming back to it after 3 years away. Thank you so much, Jades. But yeah, Jade per Ardua, shoutouts to them. They are second place on the leaderboards in the 100,000 points category. The only other person to get a sub 350 100k points. Oh, so you're feeling like running this again. Very interesting. I really, really, really hope you enjoy it. The Jades have every bit of the ability and potential to still get new world records. Like, even after I got the new 50,000 points and 100,000 points world records that I showed yesterday, they can do it too. They can still do it. This game still has a lot more possible luck that you can wring out of it, just through sheer volume of attempts and by converting it with execution. And here's, yeah, one of those waves that we need to go really well. Wave 6. Or no, that was wave 8, my bad. I don't know Joust at all. This was a pretty good wave. Speedrunning the Jade's hack. I will be looking into that in a future stream. In a soon TM stream. I'm very interested in it, and I want to also look through, like, the values and go through the iterative process that the Jades went through to find all that stuff and discover it for myself. Thank you so much. Okay, Bounder, you didn't take yourself out in a convenient amount of time for me. But thanks, I guess. This is another pretty good pace, time-wise. I don't think we can do anything with 100k. Yeah, especially with us continuing to lose points with Bounders offing themselves. That was a good ending, though. Maybe we can, if we get all the spawns. No. No, we can't. So there goes the 100k potential, but let's keep this run going. I thought I might get a bigger rebound off of that Bounder. I thought I might get a rebounder. But it did not happen, and so that was a sad death to Terry. Couple of unfortunate deaths early on here. Oh yeah, your help will be very appreciated. Ernest, thank you. A question we might all be able to answer, but also may not. How much are Joust skills cross-compatible with Balloon Fight? Fairly cross-compatible. The physics are different. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but it definitely does help to go into one game from another. But Balloon Fight is maybe appropriately a lot more floaty. The momentum in this game is tough. Like, the momentum in this game is much more difficult to change. It's so much harder to, yeah, change directions in any way in Joust, NES. But in Balloon Fight, a single press does a little bit more. I guess those go hand in hand. So this game is way heavier to control, but they're both incredibly cleanly made. Yeah, Balloon Fight is definitely way more popular and more hotly contested. And the main category has much less RNG than this. Like, to say that is a massive understatement. There is some RNG. But even that you can kind of stay ahead of if you know what frame rules you're on. Yeah, I got third place in Balloon Fight at the time. But it has been contested pretty hotly since then. And I think I'm 6th or lower now. Nice, okay, that worked out. That's another really good Wave 20 time, as far as I'm concerned. We just keep getting good beginnings. Like, we're not just making it deep while keeping a decent amount of lives. We're getting there really quickly. And here come the Shadow Lords. Thank you very much. That's a warm hello, and very nice detection areas on the eggs, as always. About 1 pixel of detection area. Okay, Terry, that is so Joust NES. No, you can't go this way. You freaking nerd. Why would you ever want to go this way? Because that's the best way to go? Ha ha ha! No, you can't. Why would you want to go? Why would you ever be able to go a way that would be good? Thankfully, the hunters are not gluing themselves perfectly to the ceiling, so I can actually fight them. That was a nice wave, even though Terry appeared. Like, again, like I said yesterday, before wave 11, if Terry appears, you know the wave is slow. After wave 11, if Terry doesn't appear, you know the wave was fast. Because Terry appears so much faster after wave 11. Everybody in this game is a sadist, for sure. Not very good spawns there. So it's definitely, massively, twofold the reasoning that you want to get really good spawns when you get late in the game. Not just because it's a lot faster to kill everybody immediately as they're coming out, but because then you have a lot less chaos to deal with on the screen when you're trying to clean out the wave. I am less of a masochist than it appears due to the games I play. I actually do not like pain. I don't like distress. I like eustress, or however you pronounce that. We stress. Okay, this could go south in a hurry. Oh, that was... I cannot believe the game, like, thought that that was a win for me, but I will not argue. A Jubilee video. I do not know of Jubilee. That type of, yeah, EU stress, yes. Positive stress. Excitement, like, adrenaline. I enjoy that. Can I beat this? Yes. Thankfully, when they're going to get the eggs, they do not run very quickly on foot. So you can beat them out from that position. That could have gone very ugly there. Anything can always get ugly in this game, but that is a situation where that can get very out of hand. If you have one enemy remaining, it can easily avoid you for like 30 seconds, especially if it's a Shadow Lord. Because, like, the only decent way to really deal with them is to just glue yourself to the top of the screen and wait for them to come to you. So if they just decide to never come to you, there's not that much you can reliably do against them. Oh my goodness! That felt amazing. Huh. Wave 29 was fire. And the literal double kill. Yeah, like the simultaneous double kill at the end. That's pretty rare. And yeah, we are significantly ahead again. This is not as fast. This is not a sub 10 wave 30 like the last pace. But we'll see if wave 30... We'll see if we have a disaster wave like we did in the last attempt. We could still possibly maybe get a sub 17 wave 39 with this kind of pace. This, however, is not ideal. I found a way up for now. But now every single zone is... Am I actually going to survive without losing a single life here? There is absolutely no way I just weave through that. What is going on? And we have 12 lives at wave 32 on good pace. Okay, this just keeps happening. And the Shadow Lords all spawn right below me. The hunters are both glued to the top. That is a coin flip at best if you try to contest them when they're in that state. And it's probably worse than a coin flip. Okay, but they unglued, so we're okay. Still 11 lives. Most of videos are excuses to cause fights in the comment section. Yeah, I don't tend to be very interested in videos like that. Oh my goodness! Yeah, this is a little wild. How do I keep getting on these paces? How does this keep happening? Because I'm clearly getting good luck. Like, these are oh, that's not great luck. The moment I say, like, I'm not even talking about this in the moment. I'm not even tempting the game live in the moment by saying things like that. But every time I say that I'm getting amazing luck, the game hears my future self and then okay, we got through it. Did I say sub 17? I meant sub 14. Sub 14 is going to be really hard now for wave 39. Let's see what happens. Yeah, like, even seeing those thumbnails is just like a kind of a groan for me on videos like that. One feminist versus 10 normal people. Like, yeah, I'm really glad I don't even have to graze past those thumbnails. Okay. That wasn't great, but it was still better than the last wave 36. Nice. Yeah, now I'm starting to abandon the spawner whenever they start coming out in force. And so I get myself to the top as soon as possible. Okay. I just misplayed that. All I had to do was hop over the little bump, but I didn't. Okay, they were just barely not glued to the... Oh! That worked. Okay, I'll take it. Ah! Okay, and now world record. I'm probably just gonna barely miss wave 39 world record. That's how tough that's gonna be to beat. Because this run has also had immensely amazing luck all the way through, pretty much. Wait. Ah! If I had gotten all 7 spawns right there, we would have just barely beaten it. But we're gonna just miss out on the wave 39 world record. But this is still such an... If we can get past here without a disaster right at the end, this is still such an incredible pace to take through to the rest of the waves. And yeah, let's just get that nonsense out of here so I can miss the hunter completely. All of a sudden, I'm losing a lot of time with one enemy left. That doesn't feel good, but let's just go. At least we have more lives than last time. We have double the amount of lives that we did coming into wave 45 last time. But again, the amount of lives you have doesn't really matter, because if you take one death and you get one bad spawn and you have to try to get back up to the chaos without dying, you probably won't. One death is actually 10 deaths in the later stages of JOUST NES. But we are... Oh, excuse me, we are only at wave 42. I'm misspeaking a lot today. My sleep has not been the best lately, and yesterday I got away with it. Today I'm a little bit more out of sorts, it seems. Hey, Witty and Magpie, it's always amazing to see you. Yep, that is the thing. That is the strategy in the later parts of JOUST NES. You just let them feed themselves to you. Okay. Yeah, you just... The Shadow Lords, thankfully, their AI seems likely to misplace their spot whenever they, try to rise to the ceiling and get you. They seem to always come up a little bit short and then bounce into you. Brian Williams, unfortunately, deems the Baseball Simulator 1000 grind to now be a little bit too unreasonable and seems to be throwing in the towel. Nescard also believes that nobody is going to really try to compete with me. I hope that he's wrong. Oh my. Okay. That's what happens if you let an egg go for too long, and now, instead of having one guy left, we have two guys who are refusing to cooperate. And there goes my time. And Terry's back. Well, this run is still slightly ahead. We have a chance. Not nearly as good of a pace as the last time now, heading into the final 5 waves of the speedrun. In the end, Kent did bunt. Can he bunt? Debatable. Did he bunt? When it mattered? Yes. But can this finish? They are teasing me very much. Okay, there we go. Yeah, okay, that's not ideal, but at least it's not as bad as it could have. Thank you for cooperating me. That was very lucky. Thank you for cooperating me. Yeah, like, Kent never failed for lack of trying. Like, a lot of the blame rests in the runner coming home from third being incredibly slow. I put all the spotlight on Kent. By the way, this is not going well. With only 3 Shadow Lords, it's still just so unbelievably difficult to get back up there. And they're going Super Saiyan. At any time, they can suddenly... Yep. That was partially my fault because I bonked on the ceiling. So, yeah. Okay, still 2 waves away. Okay. 3 left in wave 48. Oh my. They are really... That was almost a nice 3 kill. Wave 49, 4 runs in a row. Can we finish this one? Okay, we got back up. 4 lives. That was unlucky. We got back up. We're just not getting the luck. Our luck has run out. Yep. Joust NES. That probably wasn't gonna be a world record anyway, the way that wave started. But yeah, we have made it to wave 49 4 times in a row. And the second time we finished. So this is actually immensely promising. That's what I'm taking away from this. It's not the fact that I keep dying at wave 49, it's the fact that I keep making it there. All I have to do is do the same thing that I did successfully for, like, the 15 waves leading up to that. Yeah, there's your video, the Attractor. 1 flying Final Fantasy Chocobo versus 20 angry flying Final Fantasy Chocobos. Now that's some clickbait I can get behind. Yeah, so far I'm incredibly happy with how I've been performing when I'm getting bad luck and trying to stabilize. I'm way better at stabilizing in disadvantageous situations than I ever was, and it's not even close. So we go again. At this point, I'm enjoying a voice call with friends. And Jade per Ardua was starting to get really wacky with messing around with the Joust assembly and everything. And so I was in the background, I just kept hearing very, very, very emotional reactions to absolute madness in Joust, as I was playing Joust and experiencing the absolute madness that was intended to the player. Alright, Attractor, I hope you've enjoyed what you've been able to see here so far. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna sleep well tonight. I hope, at least. Because I'm very, very tired today. And I think I should be able to at least fall asleep very easily. Favorite part of Joust is that the birds don't hatch out of the eggs, the riders do. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, again, like, this, like what it was mentioned earlier, this is just kind of a wild concept in every single way. Every aspect of it is just like, what? What? It's so metal. Like, it's so ridiculously metal. That's an unfortunate egg, costing me a lot of time. And it caused Terry to appear at the last moment. Of course it did. I'm very glad, the Attractor. That's very heartening. That you find it interesting. And that I can, like, can spread the joy, quality, I can spread these games. Nice simul kill again, by the way. Yeah, no 100k world record or anything, but it's another decent pace start, time-wise. Unfortunately, I can't sing today, because my cold has gotten slightly worse, so my voice is a little bit ravaged. Whoa! They say, and then immediately make that noise. Glad this game has no music so you don't get another bases are loaded fiasco. I thought that was everybody's favorite part. Yes, this is definitely much more meditative. I don't have to worry about as much about like Celine losing her mind when the game has no soundtrack. If the bases are loaded in a forest and no one is around to see it, are the bases actually loaded? Oh gosh. I honestly probably should have gone for the eggs right away. Or no, yeah, because I knew Terry was coming, my bad. So, the way that I thought I would die did not come to pass. I thought I was gonna kill the hunter and then die to Terry. I was very shocked that I did not kill the hunter. This continues. Yeah, that was just... It even taunted me before it killed me. And it didn't bounce off the thing. This is a very sad wave so far. That time it bounced off the thing. I cannot believe I didn't die. But this is obscenely slow. Freaking finally. This is looking to be a much slower pace than every other run we've had so far. But let's see what happens. Playing it super safe with the ceiling bounces. That's the beauty of this stage layout. The bases are not loaded if no one is around to see them. Okay. I'm learning some science here today. You have no idea what bases loaded means, so you're imagining bases wielding shotguns. That's way more interesting than the reality. Bases loaded means, in baseball, every single base is occupied by a runner. And in Baseball Simulator, the bases were almost constantly loaded because the main body of the run involves you either getting hit by pitches or bunting while the bases are loaded to keep scoring people from third base. And the music was like, bases are loaded, the base. That's not the right key. I also, again, like, I can't really sing right now because of my voice. Bases are loaded, the bases are loaded, the bases are loaded. Oh gosh! Throw the hecking ball, throw the hecking ball. Ostrich in my face. No, that was the butt. And it frickin' killed me. I am frickin' dead because the ostrich butt connected with my face. Without love, the bases cannot be loaded. Get the hecking egg. Get the hecking egg. That was kind of slow. What's my hecking deal? That was lucky. We'll take it. Okay, Bounder, you actually saved me! The one kind Bounder interaction. If it hadn't... If it hadn't dropped there, I would have rebounded off of it, and Terry would have been there to kill me. So that was nice, actually. Yeah, this is a much slower pace, but we do have 10 lives. Hunter, yeah, so this is what can happen. Last enemy, completely disinterested in ever being killable. Oh my goodness. Very sad. I disagree with the concept of what sound is, in that case, the attractor, but that's its own can of worms. And animals will definitely be around to hear it, and like bacteria and yada yada yada. A bacteria probably can't hear anything, but you know what I mean. Yeah, the hunters especially love to cling to the ceiling, to be glued to the ceiling. So you really got to try to take advantage of any time they're not in that state. Terry is having a normal one. Yeah, I would love to play your Joust clone someday. I'm so hype about that idea. That, I even got their eggs right away. Okay, this is amazing. It just feels so good whenever they feed themselves perfectly to you. All in a row. So much dopamine. Those are lyrics I do not know. Okay, whatever. At least we got that freaking hunter off the screen this time. Looks like we have a chance to save a lot of time here. No spawns. Okay. That's terrifying. At least we got 2 right away there. And we lost that coin flip. See, like, the hunters are the best at perfectly staying at the very top, so that there's no way to be offensive. Okay. Yep. 15 seconds saved there. A classic. Yeah, I might actually know it. It just didn't ring the same bell that something else might. Into the 30s again. We're at least making it to the 30s every single time, and we still have 11 lives. I cannot believe that worked. That looked like it should at least be a tie, not me winning. There's a tie. That's your live anthem, okay. Life anthem, okay. Whoa! That worked, I guess. Oh my goodness, this has been a lucky wave! Beautiful. Terry's coming. Excellent. Oh no! How's it going? Beautiful to see you. Some wild things have been happening in Joust. Wild things happened in Baseball Simulator. And now, I switched to Joust on a bit of a whim. Just to see what would happen after 3 years away. And I beat every single world record in basically one day. And those were not easy world records to beat. Just getting to Wave 49 at all is a massive, massive undertaking. And I completed it for the very first time and showed it off in the stream before this one. And now we're trying to see if I can be really consistent with it. So far, 4 runs in a row, I've made it to Wave 49. I've still only beaten it the one time. But I've had a chance to get a new world record basically all of those times at the last wave. So this is going amazing. I think it is the second spelling attractor. Yep, yeah, the cold weather is very widespread, for sure. A lot of people are suffering through it right now. That didn't work out. Whoa! I am actually surprised that didn't work out. There we go. At least that one's done. Now we've got one hunter, once again. Thankfully, that one wasn't as much of an issue. The one disadvantage to the wide open stage layout, when these platforms are, when that middle platform is gone, is that the hunters can have way more free reign to be complete douches. This is not looking good. I could lose 10 lives right here. Oh, thank heavens! I cannot believe how successful I've been with dying, getting a bad spawn with 6 or 7 enemies still flying every which way, having no way, like no opening, finding one, and getting back up there without dying, and then finishing the wave. That has been blowing my mind that I'm actually able to do it. Thankfully, like, it is currently 0 degrees Fahrenheit here right now. And my den out here that I'm currently in, this very small little building that is only warmed up by a split unit, AC and heater, is keeping up really well. Whoa! Oh, I can't believe I missed that. Okay, that's better. Okay. So... Nope, we're still not past wave 39. So this is gonna be at least a minute slower than my past 2 paces. Ah, okay. Yeah, let's just get out of the hunter's way for now. There we go. Okay, still 10 lives this time. Yeah, negative numbers north of me. Completely unsurprised. I heard that Ontario, Canada, is supposed to hit some nasty, nasty negatives. Like, dozens of dozens. Oh! Nice spawns, and I couldn't quite react to that one. Now we're in a pickle. Like, we got the good spawns, which makes this a little bit less of a pickle, but and they cooperated by coming down and feeding into me at the bottom. That is an olive branch from the game, if I've ever seen one. Thank you, Joust. Unfortunately, that didn't work. Even one Shadow Lord being left can take up to 40 seconds, at least. There we go. Nice. So this isn't fast, but... and we keep getting the bottom spawns! We keep losing the 1 and 4 in the worst possible way. Yeah, really rough. Stay safe, everybody, as best you can. Oh dear. Oh dear! Even when you don't get the bottom spawn, it's so hard, because when you get the side spawns, you're higher up, but you're also right next to a screen wrap, and just about anything could be happening right next to you, which is difficult to see and interpret spatially. What? Okay, so I had to have been contacted there by the lower one. It didn't look... How fast, how quickly it all crumbles. How cookie it all crumbles. You love it when the... Isn't it the best when the birds kiss? And earlier, I kissed one in the booty and it killed me. Because I was just filled with too much love. Welcome, Zizi. It is always brilliant to see you. Okay, well... Lost a crap ton of time, lost a crap ton of lives. But as we saw yesterday, with 0 lives, I can survive for 10 waves. Yeah, best of luck to you as well, Zizi. This is a good start. The nice thing, like the one saving grace about having very, very few lives in this part of the game with oops all Shadow Lords, is that the Shadow Lords give a ton of points, and so you get your lives back pretty quickly if you can manage to keep them. Yeah, abandoning the spawner. That's bad luck. Getting a little lucky, but also timing my move well. And now they just keep tying with each other right below me, right as they're about to make contact with me. I knew I had to go for the eggs, and that Shadow Lord read me absolutely perfectly. 1 life. 2 more waves. It's not going to be a world record, but can we get our second wave 49 finish, this time with only like 2 lives going into wave 45? That is a really amazing sequence there. Okay, and yes, that is a godsend. And at this point, I'm telling everybody in the voice chat, like, wave 49 alert. Here we go. Only 2 lives. Can this possibly happen? After all the way better attempts. Oh my goodness gracious! Still not nearly out of the woods. Oh, now we are. There it is. My second ever completion of wave 49, and we just saved a ton of time in the last split. Yeah, same here. Harsh winters are what we are, like, we and the infrastructure around here is built for around here. Thank you for the GGR. No? Let's keep it going. So far, my personal best progress, my progress PB is wave 57. We are now at wave 51 again. And with very, very, very few lives. But again, with some luck and some perseverance, we can make it way farther. Can I this time? Yeah, I'm sure Oklahoma is not... Yeah, best of luck to you, too. Like, this really does go to everybody. Because this applies to, like, so freaking much of the world right now. This is a massive, massive winter storm. For those, like, watching this who don't know about it now, or are watching this far in the future, massive, like, Western Hemisphere news right now is a harsh, harsh winter storm that's coming up. And you've probably gathered by now, if you've been watching this entire run, because it's been mostly the chat topic throughout this run. Yeah, bye Terry! And bye Terry again, for different reasons. That, I'm so glad that my plan there worked. And I'm reacting laughingly in the webcam right now. My microphone was muted so that I could, talk in the voice chat and keep the clean game audio this time. But I did have the webcam on me, so I can see how I react to things. Yeah, at least I got one guy there. That was just a perfect double team by them. But I'm still, as I said, I'm outpacing my lives lost with my points gained by the Shadow Lords. And so we are still trucking. As long as we can keep this differential going, we can continue indefinitely. The game is not changing its difficulty at all. It's just from wave 45 onward, it's all the same until the game rebirths, I'm pretty sure. So it's just pure you versus the game, and it's constantly, infinitely varying luck. For more than half of the waves that are possible in the game. I shall do that, Jades. That is beautiful. Wow, Mr. Exister, wow. Okay, I hit nothing but net there. Wow. That Shadow Lord was remarkably patient, staying on the same level for a very long time. That can happen. Very rare, but it can. Have we already passed? We passed wave 57, right? So we've already PB'd. So now we're playing with house money. Let's see how far we can take this. It's amazing how many lives you can lose in one interaction without being able to take out a single enemy. And it's amazing how long you can last on a single life. Just absolutely anything is possible in this game. You can never predict anything. You just have to be incredibly good at reacting and adapting and trying to cover as many options as possible for anything that could happen. Wave 60! We are in the 60s for the first time. I believe we have resolutely passed NES Card's Progress PB now. So the only other person that I've seen make it farther than this is a person playing the Famicom version on YouTube. There is another video of somebody playing the this NES version, making it really far, but they was clearly tasked. Because they were predicting things that were impossible to predict and playing absolutely perfectly and losing 0 lives. It is not possible to play like that. Okay, just how long can this dream continue? Yeah, Waffle House is closing means there is a calamity. Yeah, my place of work might be closing, that due to weather, and that never happens, except for, like, extreme heat, which causes the courts to, incur so much moisture from humidity that they become an ice rink. From cold, they've never closed, I believe, since I started working there 6 years ago. 7 years ago. And there it goes. We made it to wave 63. That is my new progress PB. What a run. No world records in time, sorry, no world records in a time sense. But yeah, we were so close to 700,000 points. Lorded all over those shadows. Thank you so much, Zyzy. Yeah, 669,000. Yep. Thank you for the GG's are no, Mr. Existerer. Thank you, Jades. I hope you all enjoyed that run. We are an hour into this showcase session, and there's still so much more to come. Yeah, it's too bad that pace was the one that finished when we had so many, we had such faster paces going into Wave 49 before this. But I couldn't feel too bad about that at all because I just got a progress PB. With so few lives. One moment. And yes, again, thank you all so much for being here so far. So now this is later in the day. I did a lot more attempts after that, and I played for like 8 hours straight. I played for 8 hours straight from when I woke up and couldn't fall back to sleep from 5:30 a.m. to, yeah, it was like 12:30 p.m., right? So maybe only 7 hours. Only 7 hours. But it was a long session, and I did not get any new world records time-wise for Wave 49, but I did get that completion and progress PB. And I took a short break, got some food, and I had a little bit of time to kill before going off to do something, going out into the world, and I still felt like playing. So I used that hour and a half, I sat down, and I tried a few more attempts. Because I was just so hooked. So hooked. But we no longer have a streak going of like every single attempt past Wave 15 getting to Wave 49. There are now a lot more runs in between that I haven't been showing. And I might have actually been wrong about the runs that made it past Wave 15 in a row. Holy cow. Why can't I get Wave 6s like that on incredible paces, game? I know why. Because you are a sadist. That's not Wave 6, that's Wave 7. I am so bad at identifying Wave 6. Today. After watching Wave 60-something, these guys look like they're trying to fly inputting. Yes, Bounders, like going back to the beginning of the game, is a ridiculous slog. After dealing with the incredible adrenaline-laced nonsense of waves like 35 onward. The toughest part, focus and emotional-wise, is just getting runs started. Like doing the first 20 waves, because it is so much less interesting after doing the late game. And it's still just as likely to kill you. You still have to play absolutely perfectly and bye, Bounder. Wow, goodbye. You have to play absolutely perfectly and incredibly carefully to not lose lives all over the place. Even though the game is moving this slowly. Because, again, even the Bounders can do absolutely anything at absolutely any moment, just like that last moment rise. Which thankfully resulted in a tie instead of me dying. A tie instead of a die. That was very slow. Okay, I couldn't get back up there, so we're here now. Of course, I missed 3 spawns as a result, got 0 on the right spawner. But at least we got those 3 kills right back, right away. Yeah, this could have gotten a lot worse after me failing to get up to the top platform there. Okay, Bounder. You want to kiss the Terry. Good for you. Yep, Terry is... Terry the perfect hunter. Like, the hunters are called hunters, but Terry is a better hunter than they are. The ultimate hunter. That was interesting. Yep. Just be patient. Given that Joust has random variables, you could probably hook up the enemy spawner to the RNG and just let the completely random enemies roll in. Oh my gosh, that would be... It's so cool. That would be so cool. And it would be... You'd have to try to develop the skill of identifying which enemy is going to be what. And some of them would be impossible until they actually start doing stuff. For those who don't know, which is probably mostly all of you, the Jades just made an alteration of Joust NES where they subbed in garbage data enemies that not only have completely different graphics as a result, but completely different behaviors. And I'm really excited to check that out at some point. Ay, 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 ay. Yeah, that was just never gonna work out. So that was a not great wave. You always did think the problem with Joust NES was that it wasn't chaotic and random enough. From the sound of things, as I was sitting in the voice call and listening to the Jades uncovering all of the garbage data iterations of each enemy type, like the dozens and dozens and dozens of garbage data iterations, the chaos, like, this doesn't even begin to scratch the surface of the top of the iceberg of the chaos that you can experience in this game. This is going terribly. And the detection areas continue to be absolutely remarkable, so I didn't get that egg. Nice. That's a lot better. We sure needed that after the disaster that was the last wave. Now I'm playing it carefully. Only looked at 100 garbage data enemies. Also, that movement was because I was reaching over to hit the split there. I need to get a foot pedal so that I can actually split while playing. I will not be able to really grind River City Ransom until I get a foot pedal, so I need to start taking that more seriously. There we go. Oh, he went through the floor. Thank you so much for that. That was the only way he could have avoided dying to me, and of course, he pulled it off perfectly. Okay. I cannot believe I made it up there fast enough. Shadow Lord cooperated by not moving up that whole time. Letting Terry spawn high, but that didn't really matter because the bounder... It did end up mattering, actually, because Terry got stuck. So the fact that the bounder freed itself and came over to me didn't matter. Made yourself a foot pedal using an old USB controller in an Amazon box. I've wondered if I could create a foot pedal using Tony Stark in a box of scraps in a cave. But I'm not Tony Stark. So we're gonna have to kidnap him. Anyway, wave 24. Love you too. Nice. I love when they move completely vertically and you just happen to be right above them. They move all the way vertically across the entire screen, right into your loving butt. That would be really cool, Arno. At the very least, to see how you did it. 10 lives here, heading into wave 26. Not nearly as good of a pace as what we've had, but it's not a bad pace. Yeah, we've been 20 seconds faster than this before. Okay. Ah, yes! You missed, buddy. Please no secondary, thank you. Maybe I shouldn't be dysentery. What? Oh, nice, Bounder. Not great spawns, but I'm not as concerned about not... Well, it really depends. I feel way less nervous about getting bad spawns with a bunch of Shadow Lords than I should. Because I just have so much confidence that they're going to be nice to me and rise straight into my butt. But great spawns are also very, very nice too. Those also feel very good. Nice. I cannot... How did I even contact that hunter? It didn't seem like I was there. The one time that a hitbox in Joust NES seems large. The only time ever. Normally it's impossible to make contact with anything in this game. D lives, by the way. Nice. Can we possibly get to E? I don't know if I've ever gotten to E lives before. I don't think I have. Ah, we were close. Into the 30s again. Our pace has improved. And again, we're back to D lives, so that's looking good too. That can help cover a disaster. Yeah, thank you, Jades. What am I doing? I was just, like, I was drifting, and you can't change directions without flapping. So I was trying to get down there, but I had to flap to stop drifting. This has been a good wave so far, but with 3 hunters left, anything could happen. Hunters can spend, as we've seen, they can spend like 40 seconds just being unhittable, but thankfully they didn't. We got E lives! E lives! Let's go! Can we get to F? F's in chat for the ability to get to F. E. E. Thank you for the F. Thank you for the F. Back to E. Exactly 320,000 points. Not anymore. Okay. We actually have a shot at sub 14, wave 39 here. Look at this pace. 1 minute and 3 seconds ahead. Oh my goodness. Yeah, let's just let this play out for a moment. Maybe we can get somebody to come down. Oh, but then they changed their mind! That was not what I thought would work out for me, but it did, so I'll take it. What are you doing, Hunter? Okay, let's just get that out of here. A Hunter and Terry. Name a more annoying duo. Mostly because of the Hunter. No spawns. And a horrible action by that Shadow Lord. And I can't get out. They spawn camped me. They perfectly spawned. Did you see how disinterested that Shadow Lord was from ever moving anywhere else? Because it knew exactly what it needed to do. Okay. Yep. We can no longer sub 14, wave 39. Game said no. Nice simul kill as well, though. Okay. Let's just try to keep it together. This is all very unfortunate, but that wasn't. That's more like it. That's more like it. Oh my. They're having fun. I'm glad they are. Okay, we got him. Outside chant. Just... Are you kidding me? Last possible frame. Very outside chance it's still getting a world record for wave 39. If we get spawns, which we didn't in time. Okay. This was not an amazing pace to start with, and we've really brought it back. Yep. No Wave 39 world record, but still an awesome pace. If we can just get this... Thank you. Yeah, still awesome. Heading into the 40s. World record potential. This upcoming split, very, very, very likely to lose time. It went extremely well in the 1930. Here we go. 10 lives, even after a bit of a disaster. Oh my. And I went down. Because my thumb just kind of like freaked out. I missed somehow. That egg might be a problem. Okay, moving that direction worked out. That worked out too. That was the perfect time to get the eggs. Partially a good decision, partially luck! Speaking of luck, that was not good luck. What are you doing? Hello. Goodbye. Hello. Goodbye. Okay. We continue. Okay. It's so much fun until you take a single death, and then it's immediately oh crap mode. Because you know that single death could actually be 10 deaths in disguise. With nothing you can do. Look at them go! They just kissed 15 times in a row! And I just killed one of them, and I am the monster. I am not the protagonist here. Okay, at least that one's dead too. That was absolutely mating season. Holy cow. That's rough. Okay, seven creatures. Okay, I'm back up somehow. Okay, that could have been the end of the run, right there. Nice move by the Shadow Lord. And here we're losing time because of how well it went in the world record. Perfect, thank you. Okay, good ending at least. But that's not ideal. We're gonna need a good wave here to be even with world record. That's a good start. At least the Shadow Lord population doesn't seem to be endangered. They are literally... Oh my gosh! I'll take that death, frickin' Terry. We are still ahead. Let's do this. 7 lives into the final 5 waves with time to save. Can we do it this time? We could maybe potentially get sub 19 here. It is always faster to take a death with Terry. The problem is, look at what's happening. We need to try to save lives. Save our lives. And not die to Terry when we can, because if I didn't have 7 lives here, the run would be dead. As it is, we just lost a ton of time and a ton of lives. But yes, it is always faster to just take a death with Terry, or if you get lucky, you can kill Terry. So yeah, that's basically the worst possible start. Sub 19 is already dead. Yeah. Saving Terry can make world record die, but dying... Oh my god. I got jousted. I got jousted. Like I said, 1 death is usually 10 deaths in disguise. Thank you all for the Fs. Whatever, we go again. We didn't make it all the way to Wave 49 that time, just to die in Wave 49. But in a way, I prefer when I die in Wave 49 itself, because I know I was right there. But I still had time before going off to play tennis. So I kept going. Back to the early game, where everything moves like molasses, but you still have to play absolutely perfectly to not die to everything. Because everything is so variance heavy. And the physics are so robust. Yeah, the Jades put lots of things very, very well. I'm still playing somewhat aggressively in the early game because I have to. That was a really, really good wave 4. I'm trying to play as safe as possible in order to not die like 2 or 3 times really early on, because we need as many lives as possible, as we just saw, to have any chance to get to wave 40. That was close and very mean. So yeah, there I'm playing it safe. I could have gone aggro there and would have had a pretty high chance of killing it. But it was like a coin flip. I had like a 50% chance to die as well. We're getting really good spawns, by the way. This is like a good 100k pace. Yeah, there's 50k in sub 150. Holy cow. All because of great spawns and me playing wave 4 really well. So maybe this could actually, just like the night before, maybe a wave 49 attempt could accidentally get a 100k world record. Let's find out. World record for 100k, as it says in the splits, is 329. Oh my goodness, the hunter just... That was one of the nicest motions from a hunter I've ever seen. I was 100% dead. Or I should say, 99.9%. The hunter just did a 0.1% action. And at the same frame that I should have died, it lifted itself in the air just enough to let me live. Thank you so much to that hunter. We'll see if that life ends up mattering later. Onward to the toughest waves to get to a lot of points with and to get to go really quickly whenever you're going for 100k. I mean, they're all incredibly tough to get a lot of points in and to do really quickly. But these ones especially, because you're so much less likely to get really good spawns. I cannot believe I'm alive. And I cannot believe how annoying every single enemy in this game is, or can be. Because I shouldn't say that right after how charitable the hunter was to me just earlier. But yeah, 100k is dead. So let's just focus on wave 49 now. Let's play it a little bit safer. Try and keep our lives. Still gotta try to... Oh, there goes Terry. I did the thing where I phased them through the floor. And they had a bad time. I need to play Earthbound before I answer that with any confidence, Mr. Existerer. But wait. I think that's the Starman you're talking about. Anyway. Birds. And Terry twice in a row! Terry is really having a normal one. Terry is just on fire today. That or Bowie, okay. Yeah, Terry doesn't want to fly today. Terry wants to swim. You were referencing the Man of Tomorrow. Okay, sorry. Okay, good ending there. 9 lives here. Heading into wave 15. Yeah, pretty good pace. Not the best I've had, but this is definitely acceptable. Now I've seen some ridiculously absurd paces at the beginning, and so I'm feeling pickier. And I'm going to need really good beginnings, because the ending of the 1930, it says 1931 on the splits, I retimed it to be a 1930, had a really, really good second to last split, especially. Hello, Bounder. Goodbye, Bounder. Every time they pull up short like that and just stare at me in the eyes, I get so afraid that they're about to stunt on me so hard. We're already at 10 lives. It was a nice moment while it lasted. So, I didn't have to die there if the bounder hadn't gone up a couple extra pixels right at the last moment, causing me to tie with it and then send me straight into the loving, lava-crusted arms, or face, of Terry. Nice dive bomb by that bounder. Thankfully, it wasn't onto me. This is a weird situation. Yeah, that was just... I could have tried to go left there, but dealing with the screen wrap and the kind of disorientation that happens as a result, I have way less confidence that I'm not going to die. So I thought it was technically safer to try to go right, and it wasn't. Okay, that worked out pretty well. Those hunters could have been a huge problem. So we're gonna be 20 seconds behind here, but that's actually not that bad. 6:27. Not, like, I've had sub 6s going into wave 20, but a sub 6:30 is still pretty good. Like, part of me is like, ah, come on, but it's so difficult to get enough things to go well. Especially in the early game, time-wise, because the early game is naturally so much slower because of these fools. And how often they fall into situations like that, where they get stuck with the lava hand all the way across the other corner of the screen. Usually while a bunch of other stuff is happening and you have to play it safe and save lives. Save your own lives. The only life that we're saving is our own here, of course. Unfortunately. Here come the Shadow Lords. Okay, that went really well. All hail the ceiling bounces and their incredible power in general when you play this game. But especially for allowing you to have slightly more safety than you would otherwise. Again, JOUST NES, the word safe doesn't really apply at all. But you can cover more options with the ceiling bounces. This is all about covering as many options and from the enemies, as much variance as possible. Minimizing it at every opportunity you can. There we go, okay. Yeah, let's bail. Spawns did not work out for us at all there. Okay. Just barely lost that war, I think. This could take a while. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It did not take a while. Thank you very much. Terry is coming. I don't have to worry about it too much, I don't think. Just jump. We're fine. Alright, we are on pace to save time in the next split. Which I really, really want to do. I'm gonna need, like, all the way in the next several splits, I'm really gonna need to save a lot of time. Because we need to take a lead in the splits into the second to last split to have a decent chance at world record. Because we're almost certainly gonna lose time in the second to last split. But, oh, he phased through the ground. Love to see it. I'm looking at myself and... That was not a good death. I somehow missed jumping over the thing. And Terry was very happy that I did. Nice. Okay, we'll take that tie. Hunter is glued to the ceiling. Now it's not... Oh, I'm going for the egg first, which is probably smart. But the hunter was right there for the taking. I will accept that. I will accept that. We're taking a lot of deaths all of a sudden. But the time was starting to spiral out of control. We were starting to lose way too much time. I really need to start thinking about keeping things brief here. We have enough lives to play with that I can consider running into Terry intentionally. If it means saving some time. That was not intentional. That was a perfect case of if you get caught in a situation like that where you're just like you're trying to change directions and you're stuck way up in the air and you can't really build up a lot of speed to get a ceiling bounce. it's just a perfectly awkward situation that makes you an immense sitting duck. I cannot believe I just killed the Shadow Lord there. That was really lucky. Okay, thank you. Terry... Fine. Okay, we are ahead now. Could have been a lot better, but it could have been a lot worse, and that's a very Joust NES thing. It is very rare that things go exceptionally well for any extended period of time. Thank you, Jades. my execution definitely seems to have taken a massive step up since coming back to this game after the 3-year layoff. Thank you, Terry. Bye. Always feels great when Terry appears at the very last moment. Oh, everybody's gone? Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you. That is exactly the sort of thing we need right now. Alright, 11 lives, too. As we head deeper into the 30s. Not really any chance to get a Wave 39 world record. Time-wise. The 14-13... We need a lot more to go right early on. Okay, that could have been really gruesome, and it wasn't. And thank you, Hunter. Recovered well there. I have not received very good spawning luck in this run. That's part of why our time isn't nearly as good as it has been in past runs. Because we got really good spawning luck at certain intervals in those runs. This could be bad. This could be very, very, very bad. One of the Shadow Lords just got a little bit too excited. Okay. We did not lose 6 lives there, or more. Terry, why? Terry, why? I love when Terry chooses those exact moments to not... My leg's caught on the ground, which really, really sucks, and so the egg wave is now very unclean. So yeah, that can happen very, very often in this game. It's actually better it happened in the egg wave instead of when I was in the heat of battle. Because if your legs catch on the ground when you're trying to rise up and do a ceiling bounce, that is almost always a death. Which could, as I always say, in these late waves, 1 death is usually 10 deaths in disguise. Because 1 death sending you to the bottom of the screen, while 7 unbelievably fast and complete RNG enemies are doing anything on every frame above you. It is almost impossible to get back up without dying and just restarting the cycle over and over and over again. But we've been recovering well in this run so far. That was unfortunate. If we can just minimize, like, if the death... Nice, that was close. If we can keep the deaths happening later in the waves after I've already taken a lot of them out, then we are at less risk of losing 10 lives at once. And if we can just get better spawns. We just have not been getting any... That, thank you, Hunter. I lost the coin flip. Hunter is still glued to the ceiling. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. We're not getting a lot of super clean waves here. Yeah, and by the way, world record for wave 39 has already passed by. We're not getting any super clean waves here. We're just not getting any absolute disaster waves. This is not looking... We lost another coin flip to the glued Hunter. And now we're in trouble. Now we're in trouble. Thankfully, those 2 hunters were down. Now a shot. Look at them! And how did I die? Again, it must have, like, even though the top one looked like it was the one that I made contact with, it had to be the bottom one. Or other way around, I'm sorry. So that kind of stunk. We would have liked to save time there. But we didn't get any good spawns, and we got a lot of bad luck in the enemy interactions. Thank you so much, Ice. I really hope you enjoyed. And enjoy your chilling. There are some spawns. Still not... It still could be a lot better. But Now we're cleaning up fast. There is exactly the sort of thing that we really, really, really need. That's a much better wave. Okay. Oh, that was so close. That finally got a much luckier interaction there. This is the split where we are almost certainly going to lose time. But those were two really, really good waves to start. There's... Like, I was not happy with only being 10 seconds ahead here, because we're probably going to lose 30. But what is happening right now? This is unbelievable. So remember how I just said we weren't really having any clean waves? We just had 3 really fast ones in a row. Here they come. Oh my goodness. Hunter, it cooperated. My goodness, is this a new best split? Is this like the unbeatable second to last split? We just saved 22 seconds on what I thought was a split that I would never save time on again. And now we are entering a split that I know I can save time on. Into the last 5 waves again. Oops, all Shadow Lords. With 11 lives this time. Let's see if we have the disaster wave that makes me lose 10 of them all at once. Final Shadow Lord here. Could also be alive for like 40 seconds. Not this time. Of course the egg bounced. Whatever. Could be worse. Could this be the sub-19? Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We have to finish. Oh no. Bottom? No, left, which is still not great. I got up, okay. Now I need to get some kills. There's one. That was pretty lucky. Thank you so much, game. I really thought that was going to be where I was going to lose like 8 lives in 40 seconds. That was a little unlucky, but we can burn that one. With only 1 Shadow Lord left. And now only 2 waves left. Look at that Shadow Lord jump. That was amazing. No spawns, but I bailed immediately anyway. Oh my gosh. I was just about to say we're keeping our lives too. But that could change even with only 2 Shadow Lords here. Even with only 1. Alright. Oh. I was so focused on the one that was alive. That was very fortunate. That could have been an extra minute lost. Due to me forgetting about 1 egg for the first time. But here we are in wave 49. What is happening? It's over! The new world record is 1841. Because again, the time stops when the wave 50 text appears. And we got a celebratory bot right at the perfect time. Let's keep going. We had 11 lives going into the 50s. Maybe we can get a progress PB. Okay, we got back up. But yeah, that is the new world record for Joust NES getting past wave 49. That is a sub-19. And we're gonna keep playing on. My progress personal best is wave 63. We are now on wave 52. Yeah, that was a very upset Shadow Lord for sure. What a satisfying video game in a really weird way. It's satisfying for me. I had to take some time, get some perspective in my life, get a little bit older and wiser, and come back really fresh after 3 years, and I really started to appreciate this game fully. So the next category after this would probably not be anything until Rebirth. It would probably be like, if the game rebirths and resets to wave 1 after wave 99, That is probably the next category. Or maybe some stuff to do with Mode B, but I don't know if NES Card is going to be interested in Mode B. Yeah, if we overflow the game back to the very beginning level, that is probably the next category. And, like, the final category of like, progress in the game. But yeah, somebody on YouTube has showcased, with very legitimate looking gameplay, themselves getting past Wave 90 in the Famicom version. Which is by far the farthest I've ever seen a human being get in JOUST NES. I seem to be the next farthest to record and submit footage with my Wave 63. Let's see if we can beat it here. We still got 10 lives. Because I genuinely am starting to think it might be possible for me to rebirth this game. That might take years. That might take, like, many, many, many thousands of attempts. But as far as speedrunning is concerned, I'm incredibly happy with what... Oh, no. This could be the end. The game really has to cooperate here. It is not. That was a perfect dive bomb. There we go. That's more like it. Whoa! That was so satisfying. One more Shadow Lord. There we go. Okay. Not great, but it could have been a lot worse. Might be hexadecimal? Yeah, I feel like we actually know the answer. But I forget I forget for sure. Teal, welcome! Just got a new world record in the new main category of JOUST NES. Completing the last 5 waves after the game stops iterating its difficulty. And now I'm seeing if I can get a progress personal best. I've made it to wave 63. Oh, almost got the double kill again. Oh no. How hard is this one Shadow Lord gonna fight? Okay. 650,000 points. We still never made it to 700,000, I don't believe. So that is also... Oh! I keep having... Nice dive bomb. Nice dive bomb! Yep, they're going Super Saiyan. They're going Super Saiyan. It's over. Nothing I can do. That was finally the time when one death was actually 7 deaths in disguise. Okay, we're up there now. We've seen what can happen with only 1 life left. Yeah, hope you're doing amazing, Teal. Okay, now it's 2 lives. We're into the 60s again. I've survived 10 levels of Shadow Lords with 0 lives in a dream. What about now? Oh, well, that's the worst possible start. Wave 60, it looks like where our dream ends. No, they're gonna let me back up, even though the Shadow Lord phased through the floor. Wow, I'm just barely missing the proper positioning. Yeah, it's not really my positioning, it's just their decisions. I just kept barely missing that luck. But... that. 1841, wave 49. With, again, a lot... Thank you for the... I was wondering if a shuffle was coming. Again, a lot of those waves, we had tons of deaths. Not very many clean waves until the final 10. But those final 10 were something else. We saved so much time in the last 10 waves. Thank you all so much for the shuffles. Yeah. Let's get a good freeze frame here. That is not all I have to show you. There is still more. So far I've shown you in my return to Joust NES after my 3-year layoff, 339 world record in 100K. 142 personal best in 50K. 138 world record in 50K. 336 world record in 100K. 329 world record in 100K. Another 329 in 100K. A billion runs that made it to Wave 49. My first ever completion, which was a world record of 1931. My progress PB of Wave 63. The new Wave 49 world record of 1841. But wait, there's more. Let's take a look at what there could possibly be left to show. From, actually, today. So now it is 4 days of Joust since coming back. Oh, it's so quiet. It is so quiet. Gotta do this again. Because this is an unedited clip. This is unedited footage. And now I have to close and reopen it again. Sorry. Now it's a little bit louder, but I have to still increase this volume. Thank you so much, Changeling System. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's been an unbelievable few days in my return to Joust. Just unthinkable. It's starting to sink in a little bit, but I'm still in such shock over this and what I've been able to do with Baseball Simulator. So this is still probably quieter than what you just heard, but hopefully everything's okay. Yeah, thank you all so much for all the support and all the congratulations. So here today, I decided, yeah, so it's gonna be, like, impossible to get a new world record for Wave 49 unless I get really, really, really fast starts. So I decided to go for some more world record attempts for 50K and 100K to see if I could get some absurd starts and then convert those into Wave 49 attempts and see what happened. Bouncy, 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 bouncy. Hey, Adora. Do I want to change my shirt for this? Oh, that was an interesting double kill there. Sure, I'll change my shirt. Really quick. It's gonna mess up my hair and make my glasses fall off, apparently. This is a disaster. This could have gone worse, but it didn't go well. So yes, obviously, as you can see, this is pre-recorded footage. I am not currently playing Joust with my telekinetic powers. Oh, Chrysomancy! It's really good to see you. Yes, I absolutely remember you. I hope you're doing really well. It's great to see you. Yep. Congratulations. That is so incredible. Holy cow. Oh, wow. I was so excited I had to blow my nose about it. But yeah, it's wonderful to see you. Yeah, this has been an absolutely remarkable week of gaming for me. So many things I never thought I'd be able to achieve, but just all happened. There are a lot of others. Yes! So, the Diminished Fan server was the first time that I ever became aware of plurality as that concept and met systems for the very first time. And now I am friends with like 10 of them, like 10 systems. Incredible how things like that work out. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, so now I'm resetting if I don't get really hot paces in the early game. Yep, then that, speaking of a hecking mood there, Jades. Because we're both in that exact same boat with the same system. Yes. Whatever floats your boat, and that boat is the goat. But again, thank you all for being here. I hope you've enjoyed the jousting so far. I'm very glad to be able to have Jade per Ardua here in chat this time. I felt bad doing the last stream without having them here. Because we are Joust besties, or Jousties. Jade is super into this game. And very good at it. Second place in 100k. I think third place in 50k. I believe absolutely has what it takes to get times in the deep categories as well. Here's my favorite pattern in Wave 2. Always love that one. Feels so good. Super nostalgic for this game. Yeah. Yeah, this is one that I had growing up. Boom, 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 boom. That's unfortunate. And now they're all separated. Oh wait, you're back. No, I stink. I guess we'll keep going. You never know what could happen. I could have gotten all 5 spawns right there, and then all 5 spawns in Wave 6. Instead, this is happening. I hope it goes as well for you, Jades, as making a comeback went for me. Had this bootleg CD full of NES games for your VCD player and hooked up controllers to it. This was one of them. That is not what I expected to read at all. What an incredibly unique experience. That is wild. Yes, that was so... That felt good. I had an idea, and I executed it, and it worked. Which sounds so simple, but in Joust NES, that doesn't happen very often when you go aggressive. When you really take risks. It usually doesn't work out, and that was a huge risk in a wild angle. Okay, things are starting to get a little bit faster now. Yeah, this is a pretty good time. Okay. Nothing super, super special. But there's just a really outside chance of a 100k PB. If we get absurd waves 11, 12, and 13. What? That worked! What a Hail Mary! Missing a lot of egg bonuses here, but that's still a fast wave. Like, it's very, very, very rare for waves 11 and 12 to miss Terry. And that was just a brief Terry. 3 spawns right there. That's rare for wave 12. In there. With that hunter. Got the egg bonus. Oh, gosh dang it. That's still really good. If we get some spawns here, maybe I can do this. It's gonna be close. Both in points and in time. We got some spawns. I got the egg bonus there? That was a bad entrance. Oh, wait. Oh my gosh. Boom! New world record for 100,000 points. With not that hot of a point score and time pace going into wave 11. That was a 327. That one was a surprise. Because you kind of expect it to happen after getting a 138 to start the run that ended up getting 329 in 100k. The first ever sub 330. That's more expected. This was nothing like that. This was one of the really, really, really rare cases where waves 11 through 13 went super well. That was my 11th new accomplishment in the last 4 days. Oh, nice Terry kill. Yeah, this wasn't like back to back because this was after like almost 200 attempts today of just resetting really early on and trying to get really fast starts. But still, like I get what you mean. And thank you so much. Yep, that is the new current world record in 100,000 points for Joust NES. And we are taking this really fast start to see if we can finish and maybe squeak out a new Wave 49 world record, because matching that end game is going to be basically impossible. So we need to see how big this lead is. That's an unfortunate death. And that hunter is now gluing itself to the ceiling. I do not quite know what to do here. I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Okay, it worked out-ish. And we still got 2 bounders left. And Terry. This is a nasty wave. Now the run is definitely no longer clean. So that's a shame, but wave 19. If this goes fast, we're going to have a big lead. Can we get a sub 6 here going into wave 20? I think it would be my 3rd one. Thank you. Please cooperate. I cannot believe you didn't rebound there. Okay, I just barely did the right thing. I correctly guessed what it was doing. Okay, bye. And sub 6. Not my fastest pace ever, but it's one of my fastest ever. So this is what we're looking for. This is what we absolutely need. And we have time to save in some of the next splits, like this one. I have done this next split 42 seconds faster before, and we're gonna need something like that too. We're gonna need to be, like, at least a minute ahead at some point to have any realistic shot against these splits. Shadow Lord, are you kidding? Thank you. That guy had no interest in going up. Okay, nice job dealing with that. Thank you so much, Jades. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you very much. Okay, that hunter is taking a page from that previous Shadow Lord's book. That was not only incredibly slow, I spent that entire time trying to avoid taking a death, and it was all for nothing. So that's rough. Not exactly what we were drawing up there. And we're not getting spawns. My spawning luck today, in my grinding today, not nearly as good in the later waves as it was yesterday. I was getting amazing spawning waves left and right yesterday. Not in the 1841, but before that. But it feels really good to get a really solid time without the benefit of a lot of spawning luck. So that I can say that I got, like, a sub 19. Thank you so much, Elrock. I really appreciate it. I hope you're doing amazing. So, some really, 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 really wild stuff has happened with Joust since I came back to it in the last 4 days. I've gotten 11 new achievements. Which is way more, like, it's not more than I've ever gotten in this game in the entirety leading up to this point, but it feels like it. Only as amazing as you're allowed. Yeah, I apologize. Yeah, a ton of world records. My first ever completion of the new main category, Wave 49, which is just like... It's obscene. This game is just obscene to play normally. Just been sick. I have a cold as well. Mine is fairly mild, though, and I hope yours is not really not mild. Assuming it is a cold. Which I shouldn't do. We won that coin flip against that hunter. Yeah, really good to see you, man. I cannot believe that Terry did not kill me. There are some spawns. And now the Shadow Lords cooperated. That is what we needed. There's a good wave. I'll let that egg come to me. Excellent. And we missed Terry. Love it. Looks like we could save time here, as long as this doesn't go really badly. Hiya. Yeah, we're good. Oh, we got the egg bonus there. I cannot believe how lucky I was to take the wrong angle into the enemy at the end of the 100k world record that was in this run. And I still got the egg bonus immediately anyway. So yeah, almost 40 seconds ahead. We kind of need more than that. We need more. And we need it soon. Because the, like, unassailable splits are coming up. It's amazing, like, waves 1 through 25 feel like they take ages. It feels like that's the entire early game, and it just never ends. And then all of a sudden you're at wave 40. Like, wave 40 sneaks up on you. After waves 1 through 30 feel like they just take forever. I cannot believe I am alive. Okay. there it is. 8 lives is not that great here, actually. What a rebound. What a butt kiss to kill me perfectly. That is the last thing that I thought was going to happen. I thought I picked the safest... I mean, I did. I picked the safest possible approach back to the top of the screen. But it doesn't matter. Safety is not a real thing in Joust NES. There's only as safe as possible, which in that case was not safe at all. Decent spawns there. I somehow missed that Shadow Lord. Like... because hitboxes. And... uh-oh. No way. Are you kidding me? Is this about to be 30 seconds? Okay. No, but it was still rough. And we're losing time. That is not good. We're losing a lot of time. This doesn't feel like it's been bad the last 5 waves. So even though we could save 22 seconds compared to what we got in the PB, in the world record, it was actually really fast. Yeah, let's just take out the Terry there, get it out of there. What the heck ever. Now we are less than 10 seconds ahead, and the ridiculously fast waves are coming up. We need to, like, gold this split to have any chance. Let's see. Uh-oh. Only 7 lives, and this could get ugly fast. Thankfully, I got lucky there. Yeah, let's just get this out of the way right now. That gets Terry out of the way, too. Nice ending, okay. Oh, how did I not die there? That had to be last frame of viable, actionability against him there. Okay. This is good so far. Oh, yes! Still somehow Terry appeared. Somehow Terry returned. Thank you. We need the last 2 waves here to be really good. That was a good action by me there, to drift to the right. Oh, yes. Yes! That is the sort of thing I'm really looking for. Yeah, we can save some serious time here. Come on, wave 39. More! Oh my goodness! Please, Shadow Lords. Give me a gold here. I don't think I can gold, actually, but... maybe I can. Wait. Don't do it. Don't do this to me. Thank you. I'm gonna play it safe and wait for it to come this way. Yeah, we didn't gold, but we... oh my god. I saw it coming. Nice dive bomb. Okay, yep. Are you kidding? I went like a frame or two too early. That sucks. I just remembered that the world record has a blunder in the egg wave as well. So let's just... that was a less bad blunder, so let's get world record this time. And then we won't have to worry about it. That is so many ridiculous enemies. And now it's less. Uh-oh. 9 lives, but that could change in a hurry. Even with 2 enemies, when they're unpredictable like this, perfect movement by both of them. I became a Shadow Lord sandwich. I can't believe that that worked. Okay, we are very, very, very lucky right now after getting a little bit unlucky before that, but that's JOUST NES. You're either very lucky or you're very unlucky. There's no in between. Because of how dire every single situation is, I bailed right at the perfect time there. Oh no. I actually went up too early there, but I got away with it. Those eggs are going to become a problem soon. I'm going to go for them right now, because that Shadow Lord is not interested in cooperating. This is starting to take a long time. Finally got that Shadow Lord, finally got that one. Hunter, are you kidding me? That is a lot of kisses with Terry. I made the right decision there, though. Yikes, okay. 30 seconds to complete 2 waves. We're starting to lose time already, and we have 2 waves left. This is exactly what I was talking about. And... we can't even get back up there. There's nothing... okay, there's finally an opening. Will it last? No. How am I alive? He's glued to the top. Perfect timing. Lost the coin flip. JOUST NES. We are now 10 seconds behind. Oh wait, there is one more wave we still have to do. That is how brutal it is going to be to go against this split. We were 30 seconds ahead, and we're about to be 30 seconds behind. Wow. That split wasn't great, but in normal circumstances, it was not a minute too slow. But that's how good it was in world record. And guess what? It was pretty much that good in this split as well. But let's see if we can finish another run. Not looking good here. Not looking good here at all. We got back up somehow. Oh, wow, okay. Yep, perfect. There's no way to predict what that was about to happen. Because it started to make that move after I'd already committed to what I was doing. That's how fast they are. I can't believe that worked. How did that not work? And I'm dead. Nice dive bomb, but I got away. And it's over. Alright. But that run did have the current 100k points world record of 3 minutes and 27 seconds, .667, officially retimed. So, the leaderboard sweep, as it currently stands, 50,000 points, 1 minute and 38 seconds, 100,000 points, 3 minutes and 27 seconds, Wave 39, 14 minutes and 13 seconds, and Wave 49, 18 minutes and 41 seconds. There you have it. That is now where we stand, up to date, with this 4-day journey up to now. There may be more in the future, because I still kind of just feel like playing Joust when I am sitting around and I don't exactly know what to do. It's like, yeah, let's play some Joust. So maybe there'll be more, because I wasn't expecting to get anything new today at all, and boom, 100k world record. And I still feel like there's a lot more to be had with 50k and 100k. We may be finally landing, at least for tonight, Mr. Existerer, for tonight. I do have another recording of me trying my first ever extended run with Mode B, but it didn't make it very far. It did make it into the 30s, but it had deaths early on. It wasn't super serious. Let's see what's happening here. Game has been upped, yeah. I'm very surprised it happened at all, and especially to the degree it did. But I guess my game was upped. Ooh, okay. Okay. Let me just check some other things here. Oh, this is a tough. I think I know what I have to do, actually. I think I know what I have to do. Yeah. Okay, so I cannot thank you all enough for once again being here with me and joining me on this journey, as I showed you the journey that already happened leading up to now, but we experienced it all anew together for the first time. My brain just died. Thank you. It has been an absolute joy. I really appreciate it. You've made this as enjoyable as it was. I am now going to raid Apollo Smug, who is doing some super pitfall attempts because, oh, he almost just got a really fast clip there. Super pitfall is like, so I've been doing a lot of work in Baseball Simulator and Joust, and Joust especially has had a complete overhaul. Baseball Simulator, I accidentally killed the category, it seems, based on what people are saying. Super Pitfall has been going through its own renaissance, and I've been enjoying the heck out of watching that happen. So I'm going to send you all again to Apollo Smug, as Apollo I believe is still the closest person to the current world record holder, who was in my chat yesterday or a few days ago, Crit Rocket Runner. The community is so close to sub 450. It is right there, but one massive wall is in the way. Literally, it's actually a wall, like, that you have to, like, clip into, and, like, it's great and fun, and I'm gonna watch it and send you there. So thank you again, everybody. Thank you so very much. We'll see what's coming next. River City Ransom eventually, but I need to get a foot pedal. Until then, I wish all of you the best that life has to offer. Dream on, folks. Peace. Take care. Thank you so much. Stay safe in this winter storm.